Okay, Eve.
Well, that's what he told. No, that's what he told. You know, I remember I used to live right over here by these tall trees, another house I was in. I come out of my house one time. My mom and her husband are leaving, and it's at night, and I see something in the shadows. Oh, there's Dave. David kind of hung back in the shadows because he saw I was saying goodbye to my mom, and as we drive away, I go, "Oh, Dave, hi, how you doing?" He's kind of lurking in the shadows. What's happening? And I just reach out to shake his hand, and his hand's kind of like out here someplace, and he kind of goes, oh no, I was just over at Monroe School jerking off. God, well, thanks for telling me. Might be thoughtful of you.
Look around. Get level, get level, get level. A little bit to the left. And get level, get level. Level. Keep it level. Keep it out. Perfect.
Wow. Impressive.
Okay, Ben. Hands back. Look at the ocean. Try and keep your eyes on the ocean. And you can run. Good. Lean into it. Let go of the front. Look up at it. Add a little brake and look at your canopy. Look at your canopy. Is it okay? I hope so. You're airborne. Good. Use enough brake to slow it down a little bit. Make the canopy slow down a little. Slow it down and then spin around to your left. Spin left. Brake hard. Brake hard. Step to the right. Very good. Excellent, Ben. Looking real sharp.
Does he still go like this all the time? No, he hasn't done that for a long time. I gave up on it. As I recall, he had read that you can actually reshape your eyeballs. and of course, the shape of the eyeball is what determines your vision, right? I guess the theory is that you can kind of reshape your eyeballs by doing that, and then maybe you wouldn't need glasses. I think he designed the glasses. Hey, outstanding there.
What are you telling me to turn around there? Oh, was that?
Oh, he said look around.
Ah,
Look
so
around.
turn around.
Yeah, it was kind of a wasted instruction because you do that naturally anyhow. I don't need to tell you to look
Yeah,
around.
I was going to go closer because I felt too high to turn.
Yeah.
And then I thought you said turn around. So I started my turn. Then halfway through the turn, I looked high because I went back up a bit. That's why I came towards you guys with like a nest turn to make it too far out there.
Yeah. A lot of times people will turn back towards the hill and underestimate how much time it's going to take to be able to change heading and go back. Which is why I go
It's going pretty good on mine.
Yeah.
Is that keep picking up or?
The white stuff
That's back there by the house.
it's probably going to stay breezy for a while. I don't know if it's going to get much stronger, but it'll probably continue.
Think it lasts for a while? Will that be good over there?
I don't know. We're about at the end of the day now.
It's going to hit. You're going to hit yourself if you want.
I might hit Wilcox, or I might just go up and fly here. It looks like it's kind of fun. You really want to fly Wilcox, don't you? You see, Paul's barely, he's not even above the trees. So.
I think I was in pretty well for a while. The first time you went, he was sitting on the trees and like, look at the
How
flight.
many flights did you make today?
I did 7 from that normal spot. I did 6 from like I was almost at the rock. And 5 in the top.
Got off? I'm kind of tired today. like you need to make.
When are we going to do second breath?
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how much
I was
energy you got.
20.
Were you? Are you gonna hurry up?
Okay, Don. So, Don, I want you to really concentrate on not pushing out, not leaning over. Keep your body upright and keep running halfway through the flight. For the first half of the flight, keep it. Don't run frantically, but just keep the legs moving in a running motion. In other words, keep your gear down and rolling. And if you're hooked in, you can pick it up and you're clear to fly. Good, keep it in. Keep running. Good. Just relax now. Loosen, let your body hang loose. Little left, center. Your legs hang down. Let them hang down. You don't have to hold your legs up. Let them hang down. Out a little, out, 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 out. Flare. Good, Don.
Good. He's used to get his G up. We had a Baffle brothers where you're instructors for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you know who else taught me? Dave Bud and Jeff Nail. And all of
remember
these
Jeff
guys
Nail.
were teaching for me when they were like 16.
Bob Brown.
Yeah, that's right. But what's amazing though is when I think back when they said before I turned my class over and wasn't steering some days to 15 and 16-year-old kids. These days I don't want anybody, let alone 15 and 16-year-old kids. Actually, what's even more amazing is that hang gliding in Santa Barbara was actually created by kids that were anywhere from 14 to 16. Hang gliding. He was like the first guy to hang glide here.
Oh, he was one of the first in Santa Barbara?
I think he is effectively the first guy to ever hang glide in Santa Barbara.
He built that Icarus. He built two Icaruses.
Yeah.
He had the two-wing
You know
one.
what? He flies an Icarus 5 now.
He still has that 5?
Well,
he's had that for years.
No, he only got it a few years ago. I don't know. I don't think he ever had his own 5.
I'm thinking of Brian Porter.
No,
He
Porter
flew
didn't have a
one.
5 either. He had an Easy Riser. He had an Icarus 2 and then an Easy Riser. Porter's flying the glider called the Swift now. It's like a 20-to-1 foot-launch sailplane. Pretty wild.
Oh, that $10,000 job that was in Popular Science a few months ago?
Yeah, right, that one. He's flying there. That's
Real
Akeem.
heavy. I couldn't believe how heavy it was.
100 and some pounds.
Yeah, 130.
Did you see that was a king right there?
Yeah. Or that's his canopy, yeah. Nobody he ever teaches ever really thinks to have it.
You're fine. Oh, you should hear me talk about all the other horseshoers and saying that hell. None of them were as good as me.
Deserves it. Incredibly inept. I've never known anyone that has flown for as many years as these guys has seemingly failed to really make any real progress. I mean, every time I go out to, yeah, he's still alive. Every time I go out to Wilcox, somebody's telling me another story about what I've seen with how he got his tail and fell over the cliff, or snagged a tree.
Isn't that the guy that had the other hang gliding school?
Yeah.
Hageman? Akeem Hageman or whatever it is?
Hageman, yeah. He's an affable enough guy. He's not an unpleasant person. He doesn't appear to be stupid. Never seen anybody that ever could keep flying and fly day after day, month after month, year after year, and never seem to get any better. He actually is almost looking like he's in control. Although, the fellow got 6-point foul last weekend.
graphically demonstrated.
Yeah, you know, I was it happens fairly regularly. Somebody will show up, they've got the experience from years ago, they've got some glider that I just don't know much about, and yet they're experienced enough that I don't want to, on the one hand, I don't want to tell them, well, you're going to have to sign up for instruction. I mean, I'm kind of sensitive to everybody's, you know, the feeling that people have when they think they're experienced, that they don't want to be compelled to take training. I try and indulge that, and it rarely ever pays off. It nearly always ends like this, you know. I mean, old gliders are just hard to, they're such an unknown quantity, and so many of them in the early to mid-70s, and this is like a 76, 77 version. So many of them were never trimmed right to begin with, and poor designs, just not balanced correctly. And the guys, you know, that learned to fly in those, they didn't know anything about trim and didn't know have no way of evaluating a glider, and I don't want to fly those old gliders. So I'm kind of like, gosh, you know, what do I tell a guy? No, go away. So, you know, this guy's probably sending a recording. But then I also don't want to see people whack in. You know, feel real lucky that this guy whacked in, he didn't get hurt, and he injured himself, you know, and that's risk. That's no fun.
Yeah, that one that he had, it almost looked too small for him.
Well, it did look small. On the other hand, overall, up until the last couple of flights, it looked like it was carrying his weight rather well. He's getting good distance out of it. He seems to be working okay.
That breeze might have been helping out a little bit though. Oh, I didn't see it. Was that one? You had to build them from the plant. You had to build them from the plant. But Dave Buck has one. He lives up in There was a Mitchell wing, yeah, it was all those things all came out at the same time. There was A10, spikes they had well, they had superior performance, but they were so heavy, had to trailer them around.
Add a little more brake.
They just pull it up.
Into it. Sometimes when you want to go up the hill, you
riser, which was a copy of the Hippers 2. Later on, people say ultralight got it.
thinking it was a Cumulus 10, but I think actually it's a 3. Fluid. This is good. And then once I installed it, started exhibiting characteristics that were common in little gliders.
Dave, are you hooked in?
And then finally took off without nothing there and took it off and installed it about 2 weeks. Almost broke it down. I think actually felt pretty good, but I mean, it wasn't like a drive. Hard to say. I think it flies like most stuff you see really, really, a little slow. Well, you know, without a rudder, hang gliders are like yawn all over the place. It's all a lot. And you don't have to do anything about it. They got enough directional stability that they'll drag you come back and pull you into the apparent wind. But if you watch it enough, you realize that they yaw a lot. And the occasions where I've looked at footage that people have taken by mounting cameras on their gliders, and they have a little streamer on the nose, the streamers are all over the place.
Really?
And you realize just how much these things yaw. You know, they're like this all the time. And they're relaxing, producing some kind of uncoordinated. All of our turns aren't. Kate, you look like you really gained a lot in your technique today. Just what I've been seeing you and Bob do, and it's really good. I wish I'd really gotten people doing this exercise earlier. I think it's a good exercise. Yeah, just walk down and not focus on flying, but just develop a real good control of the thing. Trying to get it to pull them up the hill, but it's a bit of a challenge.
Step to your left. See, that's the problem, is you're stepping the wrong way. If you step the wrong way, you actually exacerbate the situation.
Hey, Bond.
It's very good.
Oh, what's the video then? That's the tape. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to make some comment about how you're wearing shorts now, and I guess I shouldn't have. I mean, I put this on that I didn't. I started racing up the road. Well, but I just think yeah. Sunday now. Huh? Sunday. Yeah. Sunday what? Sunday Figure rolling. Oh, yeah. That's what he's talking about. It didn't look intentional, did it? Looks a little breezy up top. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. Keep running. Keep it in. Keep it in. Keep it in. Keep running. Keep running. Good. Hold still. Right. Put yourself to the right. Out just a little. Out. Left. 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 Out. 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 Left. 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 Point yourself to the left. There you go. Clear. 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 Good job, buddy.
So how long have you been here?
Well, I bought lunch down, had lunch.
Just under.
How much?
Yeah. Here, you're like a...
So nice there. Flying or? No. Well, I just sit here.
turns around. I had to drive over by the mission, and there's people that always stop where there's...
Look at the ocean.
Oh, that was nice.
Good. So it's okay to let your hands kind of hang on the brake. Let the weight of your hands, there you go, kind of hang on the brake. You always feel some pressure. You always feel
Here's the guy that was in the top. We had a friend who saw Scott in the air. Down by my
Step to your right, step to your right, step to your right. Here we go.
Did you want to use my canopy? We've got the T120.
It's like silver would be better.
Hmm.
Chrome would be
Chrome.
the best. But you can't get that. Yeah. White is good. Except for some of the Marlar.
How long have you been?
This is my first day.
Oh, really?
It's for the first time.
It's a pretty fun sport.
Yeah, that's fun. Especially when you keep it on the road.
Yeah.
Flare.
Little bump, they're not high enough to get.
I think he's playing with his computer at the moment.
Running. Good. Once more. Brakes up. Get shallow and wide angle. Brake right. Brake. Both brakes. Brake.
Is that Bonnie?
Yeah, it is.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get
Oh.
And I think it's not an official hill. I think it's kind of a place where they're sneaking in a bit, or
Found it.
and they're using it. A lot of the places that they use it, yeah, they're getting close to it.
Right wing up here.
Are you done?
Back it.
You're doing real well. How many flights did you get?
Run.
I guess you had an advantage in that the other
Good.
people
Keep it
can't.
in and keep running. Look at the ocean. Look at the ocean. Look at the horizon. Lift your head up. There you go. That's it. Left. Center. Flare. Flare. Good, done.
I don't know exactly how much flying you've done before. You learn how to fly on standard so old gliders, and you're coming out to get some guidance, but I don't know exactly what kind of duration.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, after you got semi-proficient, or just needed some practice on a lower hill.
Once you,
If there was places like that around, or...
it's always hard to find them. Once you have
Bob,
novice
keep
training,
it down for just a second, will you? Okay, Eve.
and you can't remember the year this year, then you're welcome to come out while we're here.
Oh.
You have to get to that skill level before you do it, because if you need any kind of activity, then you just watch it.
It's fairly sensitive to the green on.
Kind of flying activity kind of puts everybody to sleep. It looks so benign that it's kind of hard to see the danger. People are learning and they're not really skilled and
I know the camera's
get
got
hit by
most
hang
of
gliders.
them. This is one.
They go for a loop.
Have to spend a week with these manuals. Yeah. He'd like to stay there for a while.
You've been doing really good all day.
He's over your home and stuff, and he also has ceremonies.
The presence of mind to just say that. I mean, certainly not a novice hang glider pilot. So cool.
Yeah, like his own criticism of his flight too.
Yeah, it's just like what a pilot is, you know. It's just never, not used to working with people that are so open to learning. Oh, most people are really open to learning. This guy's exquisite. Ernie, you interested in doing one more?
Yeah, I'll do one more.
Why don't you grab this? I'm not sure. I told him he could do two more, and I'm not sure if he's done one or two. But if he's just done his last flight.
Don, was that your last one of the two that I told you you could do? I sent you back up to do two more. Was that the second one? Okay, let's let Ernie take one more, and then we'll send it over to the parking lot.
We'll send it to the shower.
Oh, that's right. I get to carry it back anyway.
That wasn't my plan, actually.
I didn't think so, but it just kind of worked out.
Static.
I've seen you out here before, haven't I? Maybe I've seen you at Cal, or maybe Summer Lake, Lakeview, or Shasta.
Turning it up for you?
No, I've actually renewed it.
Have you?
Yeah.
So get another right card.
I actually.
Hell
How
yeah.
you doing?
How are you, Wayne?
What?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Walking on with anything?
You're supposed to.
Okay, well, the only thing you need to be really aware of is your
All right.
Yeah, I know. It's a very Membership dues are pretty rough.
Yeah, but we Bob Shepard.
Not that one, is it? No.
He was a 123.
Not one. So you seen Barry lately?
Oh, that's exactly the plan. I mean, it's been for sale for years, and they will finally come, or some true character will come along.
He owes you some money too, though.
No, he paid me.
You still owe him more money for something else, I think. Well, I was talking to the other management team over there.
I thought when he picked it up today.
I got that close to buying it. And just couldn't figure out which one to get. Just couldn't figure out.
Carl, I would think that you would know all about the latest thing.
Well, I found the latest one.
Oh, look at Bob.
It looks like a long thing, about like that. It's not the compact. It's kind of really. I think so. It's got every feature you can buy. Big air race in there.
You know, I used to videotape and talk to my students at the same time, and that was kind of challenging. I'd have the camera in my right hand, and I'd get to try and keep both eyes open, you know, so that I could see both through the viewfinder and with my free eye, and then hold the camera or the bullhorn up and talk at the same time. And there's one time that I got mixed up, and I brought the camera up to my lips and the bullhorn up to my eye, and it took me a second, because I had the other eye open, it took me a second to realize that, oh. Kind of fun.
Great.
You had to be there.
Yeah, a couple of
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Just kind of float this thing back up? Is that how you bring them up usually, or?
Well, we're just going around today.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm trying to do is this little steeper part of the hill, if I can control the steeper part of the hill and take off. Sometimes you have, you know, pretty steep takeoff. The top is easy, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
Just having some coordination up in here and just flying down and trying to land where you want to land is the trick. It's too much work to go up there. Now, if the wind is a little bit better, you can stay up a little bit. It'd be worth it. You know, he was in a stretch, you know, watch how close to the ground is when he was trying to keep it. Where it's more out here, you would come out here, but then you go out of the barrel real quick. You didn't have enough, so you just said that's enough. I'll go back and you go back and try again, maybe pick another, you know, like another surface up if you want to.
So a lot of this is just practicing techniques right here.
Well, yeah, this is the training hill. This is where you learn. Once you get in the air, you really don't have to do too much. It's the landing and the takeoff, I think, is the most important thing. That's what I practice here, anyway. You can get a lot of them in. When you fly in the mountains or you fly someplace else, you just get one takeoff, one landing, and then you fly in between. That's a lot of technique in between, as long as you don't hit anything, but there's nothing to hit up there. This is the training hill. This is where people learn. And then you sit down and see what other people are doing, too. You might see something you don't know, or different technique, or another way to pull it out, or set it down, or something. So this guy ain't running. You put a run if you want to take off.
What's funner, hiking up or flying down? So you paraglide and hang glide?
Yeah, I'm just learning to hang glide.
Oh wow.
Before I can fly everything that flies.
Master of all sports.
You think you're on the moon or something?
I should have been flying earlier when there was some wind. My God, I might actually have to walk up the hill. That'd be terrible. I refuse to walk up the hill.
Well, if you had this big umbrella over here, you'd probably do something.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm going to get the next kind of by a canopy. I want to have, I've got 2 canopies right now, and like a knucklehead, I went ahead and bought another 123. And afterwards I realized, that was dumb, I should have gotten 125.
Yeah.
And I'd have one of every cost.
Yeah.
I had a hell of a time flying bobs on Friday.
Yeah?
That's flying it.
Couldn't get it down?
Man, it was so great.
Come on in, help me up the hill.
Yeah, I'd love to get a 125. And I'll have everything. Little one for high wind days, big one for the low wind days, and a medium one for the medium wind days. Then I'll be like a fully equipped kind of guy.
You need one more thing.
What?
Time to do it.
It's the time to do it, that's right. Good. That's my wife, my honey, and she's doing good. You know, it's good practice if you just stay on the brake and just steer it backwards. That's how you end up when you do your turnaround at the end, unless you let go of the brakes, I guess. You know you can steer it with direct brakes, right? I mean, right hand to the right side, left to the left side, or on cross. So the real challenge is to do it with cross brakes, because it's not intuitive. So a friend of mine was telling me that he's been taking a camera up with him on his, and he attaches 2 lines out to the stabilizer, suspends the canopy down even with him, and then has another line that pulls it in, takes off, lets the line go, and lets it swing out so it's out about 15 feet from him, taking pictures. I'd love to do it with a kid. Carl's got the same camera. I want to take something that's about the same size and weight as that and practice with it, although I know I can do it, and get some in-flight video that way. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. Or another shot I've seen, people actually suspend a camera right in the canopy looking straight down, and that's a pretty incredible shot, although I think it'd be a lot more interesting to be out next to somebody, some more natural orientation. Step forward. Good. Good. going to stay with it, Ken. You showed really good aptitude, although even if you hadn't shown aptitude, I'd still encourage you to continue, but it looked like you were totally at ease with it. So do you pursue other kinds of physical activities? Okay, well, that probably counts for some of it, although sometimes I've had people with tremendous aviation backgrounds couldn't put their finger on their nose. Yeah. What's your occupation? Engineer. What kind of engineer?
That came out good, Ken.
That looks like a pretty good shot. So how much more do you think you want to shoot before you feel like you got all that you need?
I'd like to get a day at Wilcox or another day here. Are those the 3 flying sites that, like this, Wilcox, and maybe Point Sal?
Representative. This is one, like the first canopy I owned. Sure.
And the playful type of and low to the ground flying, if it comes out, it looks the funnest on the
Yeah, I think
video.
I agree. It's a lot. It looks a lot more interesting. Yeah, I think it's also, from a viewing standpoint, it's less threatening,
Mm-hmm.
friendlier.
Yeah.
I think people get scared when they see something really high off the ground. It reminds them of all of their fears. Really run at it. Good, and brake. Brake, brake. Oh, you want to fly, huh? Yeah.
You know what's different? You got your hands busy a lot more than in hang gliding.
A lot more things to do, yeah. Step right, step right. Tough reflex to develop, but that's what you got to do to be able to stay in control. If it gets off too far to the side, the only way you can recover is to step dead upwind of it. Yeah, well, there's a lot more things to grab. I mean, in a hang glider, there's just the control bar, and all you're doing is shifting your weight. With this, you can manipulate the wing and reshape the wing, and yeah, see, you got lots of lines you can grab. Fundamentally, there's the front, the rears, and the brakes. You got 6 things to grab. I mean, you can grab more things, and in flight, you can collapse your tips by pulling just the outer front lines. But on the ground, mostly you're just handling either the front or the brakes, and sometimes the rear riser. The rear riser actually pulls the rear half of the wing down, whereas the brake just pulls the trailing edge down.
When I was flying, I used to sometimes bring a camera and just carry it, or bring even carry things. You wouldn't probably do that as much with this.
Oh, sure, you could do that. In fact, when I was up in Oregon last summer, there was a place I was flying, and there was some elk. Pictures didn't come out, but it was some spectacular. I don't know, it was just a spectacular experience to be flying along a couple hundred feet over an elk, and I fumbling around trying to take pictures. And yeah. Yeah, you know, I think also a lot of what we do in paragliding is a lot of this handling where you're not really flying. It's fun. I mean, it feels nice to be able to manipulate the wing and use the wind to pull yourself around, and even if you're not actually airborne, you have a sense of control by just doing this. And there's nothing equivalent to that in hang gliding. I mean, in hang gliding, there's no ground handling kind of exercises that you can do that are anywhere near as satisfying as this is, or as kind of challenging. I don't know, in some ways there's more things you can do without going anywhere. Unlike hang gliding, you kind of have to go somewhere in a hang glide. I mean, you can't just stand there and have fun. In a paraglider, you can stand there and have fun. That's it. That'll be my new marketing line. Try paragliding. Well, you can just stand there and have fun. Right. Nowhere to go. Well, that's one of the things that people talk about with hang gliding. You know, they try and convince me that hang gliding is better because they're kind of annoyed that I'm saying that paragliding is better. And they go, well, you know, you can go a lot further in a paraglider. And then I say, well, just where do you think you're going to go? I mean, anywhere you go, you just got to get back from.
That's right.
It's not like you can fly down to the store, or you can fly to work, or you can fly to, you know, Telluride for your vacation. You know, you go to, it's totally pointless, you know. Going anywhere is pointless unless, well, I mean, it's,
Unless you make it a task just for the fun of doing it.
yeah, right. And then it's just, so then the real value is, did you do as good as you could have done?
That's right.
I mean, because if it's just sheer distance, well, you can't beat a 747 for distance, huh? Or even, you know, hang gliders compared to sailplanes, you know. I mean, if a hang glider pilot went up to a competition sailplane pilot and said, well, I've flown 100 miles, they'd laugh at you.
Yeah.
Well, so what? Who hasn't?
So what, huh?
So, I mean, to fly 20 miles in a paraglider is like flying 100 miles in a hang glider.